The discovery of knowledge is the psychology of the unknown. Our words possesses our consciousness, our perception, or cognition. They possess the total meaning of our auto-projections, our auto-formed conclusions and judgments, our self-formed impressions, views, opinions, fast-moving, swift perceptions, always fast-moving, instantaneously drawn from a quiver full of references we hold in our memory and associations, and the things that we passionately believe about ourselves and about the world. All these things must come under the control of the investigator, the learner. May we say that every spoken word is replete with self-knowledge and understanding? Are we not saying that there can be neither cognition or perceiving or knowing without the unity of the psychological possession of our own self-knowledge? But if this is the case, we have to admit this, that every announced word forms through rearward-looking assessments and references the known, memory and understanding. The rearward-looking glass, as it were, of experience, that contains the totality of that which is known. Every word announced forms through a rearward-looking assessment, interpretation, association, or a reference. Those can be very complex. And we can draw a super amount of data into a swift decision. There isn't a computer that can do this. There's no computation involved here. Living knowledge, living understanding. So that we may say that the all past of our experience is the known and is referenced through our auto-forming words, transferring into the future our assessments, interpretations, and our conclusions and opinions, the pictures we have in our minds of others and of things around us. But now the question is, if this is all rearward looking assessment, what are we doing? We are talking about the psychology of discovery. Just a reminder, this is the essence of our WordiVerse. If we now look towards the past in our assessments, and if we may for a moment put the future on hold, in brackets, if that is possible, what is it that we are doing? Are we not transferring the assessments from our past into the future? This is a very ancient question that repeats itself in a new form and a new time. What about ignorance? What about the little observation, I don't know? Because that breaks that assessment with the past in a sense. So my assessment is in looking behind me in my past knowledge, and is a conversion of what was to what is to come, bringing to life or brought to life by past references. Bearing in mind, we are also talking here about active learning. For that, we have to forget about the past. Open your mind, as it were, to the possibility of learning through the statement, I don't know this thing, but I am really curious to find out what it means. But our assessments, always looking behind us, rearward looking in the rear view mirror, is just the usual flow of words, is it? It's just so natural for us to do. In fact, it is universally experienced by by all humans, this phenomenon of coherence. Because that is really truly what it is. Coherence. That there is no break in my reality. It's flawless. I flawlessly form my conclusions in my reference frame of reference. So what is formed and transferred to the future is really in the past. Because that's where we carry all our knowledge of ourselves. But we've just now said that living knowledge is the pillar that supports, the inner pillar that supports our whole being. And if this now contains the unknown, shouldn't we admit our ignorance in every decision? This brings us to the psychology of discovery, transformation, or as I prefer, conversion. This we will look at in our next little talk on the WordiVerse.